I'm going to start today by reading Micah chapter 6, verse 8. He hath shown thee, O man, what is good and what the Lord requires of you, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with our God. So, Micah is one of the minor prophets. That's probably one of the most frequently cited passages in any of the minor prophets. And it frames up the fifth question that we are asking today. That is, what is expected of me? So, question number 1, what's of ultimate importance? Question 2, who am I? Question 3, where did I come from? Question 4, what went wrong? Question 5, what is expected of me? Am I free to do whatever I want to do? Or am I accountable to people or to God in some way? So am I culturally accountable to my family? Am I politically accountable to the government or to my neighbors? Am I accountable to God? And if so, what exactly is it that I am accountable for? What are the standards to which I am going to be held accountable and judged? So the answer to this, according to the Bible, is that we are, in fact, accountable. We do not belong to ourselves. We belong to God. And God not only says that we're owned, God has given us things that we are expected to do. We are going to live forever. Eternity changes everything. We are accountable. We are temporarily entrusted with God's stuff, with our life, which is ultimately God's. We're accountable for the resources that we've been given, for the gifts that we've been given, for the opportunities that we've been given. We are accountable to God for the stuff that He has temporarily entrusted to us, and we are expected to use those gifts, abilities, time, resource, talent, whatever. We're expected to use that stuff in ways that reflect His values. And in Micah, he says we are to be about justice. We are to pursue justice. And that particularly means, if you're reading the Bible, that we are to be very tuned into the plight of the poor and the oppressed, to the widow and the orphan, to the foreigner, to those who are struggling. These issues are complex. I don't want to suggest otherwise. The New Testament suggests that when it comes to the poor, that people are poor for different reasons. Some are poor because they're born into poverty. Some are poor because a natural disaster has wiped them out. Some are poor because they're oppressed by other people. Some are poor because they choose to live a poor lifestyle so they can care for the poor and live among them. Some are poor because they don't work. And Paul will say, if you don't work, you don't eat. I mean, so the ways we respond to poverty need to be, they need to be framed by the context. But clearly, part of what we're expected to do is to use God's resources to care for others, especially those who are struggling. We're to love mercy, and we are to be humble, right? To walk humbly with God, to recognize our own brokenness, and to recognize, if somebody like me, I was given lots of advantages in life, to recognize that I was given lots of advantages. And those to whom much has been given, much is expected. So, this is an important question. What is expected of you? You are expected to be a good steward of the gifts and abilities, the opportunities, the time, the talent, the resources that God has temporarily entrusted to you. We will be held accountable for what we do with what we've been given. That's a heavy topic for a morning devotion, but it's the truth. Have a good day.